Welcome to the Hub, where you can find everything anime, everything podcast, and everything about video games, man. Let's get it. Man, after everything that came out, man, I'm finna just be 100, man. Seth, the programmer, is damn near just a scumbag, bro. I'm not even finna go over what he did to Clyde. Watch Clyde video. That's what popped everything off. But what he doing to 6 and Swagkage, he was going off on him on the Keemstar show, calling 6 Swagkage bitch ass niggas and all that shit. Bro, I looked at 6, Swagkage, and Seth are like the big 3 of the anime content creator, like the Naruto content creators, bro. And the way he tried to act all nonchalant on the Keemstar show and all that, bro, tried to act like the out-of-pocket shit he was talking about wasn't out-of-pocket as it was, shows you how much of a manipulator and a deception artist he is, bro. I really did fuck with Seth the Programmer, but, bro, if I see you, bro, I'm just let you know you a bitch-ass nigga, bro. You a hoe-ass nigga. I know you can change, but, nigga, you still doing hoe-ass shit. Talking about that was 5 years ago, nigga. You doing hoe-ass shit, nigga. For real. But let's get into the video, man. Like, subscribe to that motherfucker.
I don't know how to pronounce your name.
6.
6.
His name is 6, yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts on this before we bring Seth in? And are you willing to stay here when we bring in Seth?
Yeah, I'll stay here. I'm not gonna argue with Seth. Seth does not like me. He made that pretty clear. He blocked me a few days before a lot of these allegations came out.
6.
I was more so just
ahead.
looking at what he said about Swag.
I really didn't want to cut Seth off because, so from my perspective, Seth and I were, like, good friends, right? And, I mean, I have, like, okay, so there have been tons of people in my personal life and people professionally who have been like, yeah, you know, I don't really like Seth. Or, you know, like, are you cool with this thing that Seth did or whatever? And every time this would happen, I would always defend him. I would be like, no, look, you know, A, B, or C, X, Y, or Z, like something, right? Like, I defended Seth, like, to the death. You know, anytime anybody I knew had a problem with him, I was always, like, ride or die for this guy. Or maybe have seen. That Seth has just not liked me, like, at all. It feels like, I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but it feels like he has not liked me, like, ever, right? And it was, like, way beyond the time that he gave me that apology. He was saying all this, like, horrible shit about me. You know, like, at least to Clyde, and I've also heard to other people. Then, you know, there was this other stuff with, I don't want to mention other people's names, but then, like, finding out all of this stuff that, like, Seth, like, you know, had been saying about me and how he felt about me after he gave me what I thought was a very serious apology, I was just like, look, like, normally I would have just, like, accepted Seth apology. Like, even considering some of the stuff is, like really hardcore shit, like, to say about somebody, right? I was just like, you know, look, I would be willing to, like, accept this, right? But, like, it's just, I already went through this with him in 2019, and it was just kind of, like, bullshit. And he was just like, yeah, so, you know, I'm just, like, we talked about it, right? Like, I don't want to get too deep into it. And I was just like, look, you know, like, I'm sorry, but, like, this is, like, I can't go through this a second time. Like, you know, the whole fool me twice, shame on me thing, right? So I was just like, I was like, at this point, we were just done talking to each other and working together. And he was like, yeah, I understand. So I'm not gonna get much more into it than that. I'm not trying to completely grill him or whatever, or, like, end his life. I told him, because he said that he has, like, some personal issues that may have contributed to that shit. And I was like, look, genuinely, like, honestly, I hope that you can, like, fix that stuff and get to a point where you don't have to deal with any of that stuff anymore. I mean, like, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I used to have issues when I was younger, like, that stuff that I, like, really hate about myself, right? That I thought that I just wasn't in control of, that I eventually got past and, you know, don't do anymore. So, like, I believe that Seth is, like, capable of improving and getting to a point where he doesn't do this type of thing to people. But, like, I was just like, look, like, you know, I'm not, like, this isn't, like, I'm not interested in going to war. We can keep all of the, like, collateral to, like, a bare minimum. But I was just like, yeah, you know, like, I'm good. I don't want to, like, interact anymore. Like, I can't after this. Of course, there's, like, the other stuff. Some of it is, like, he said, she said, ye. So like I don't know how much of it I should comment on. Like I'm like, it's very difficult to figure out how to approach this because I'm not trying to be like toxic. I'm not trying to be like bloodthirsty or anything. I'm also not trying to cover for Seth, right? Like I am genuinely like really fucking upset about a lot of the stuff that was in that video and a lot of the stuff that wasn't even in that video that I found out about from Clyde and some like other people. But like it's just like, let me say, dang, guess we can say goodbye to the Triple S podcast. So okay. Let me also explain what happened with that. That was probably never going to happen, and it was dumb of me to even pitch it in the first place. So I had been trying to get a podcast going with Seth for I don't know how long. I want to say like 4 years or something. Like I could be wrong, or yeah, I could be wrong. But it's like it's something that I've been interested in doing for a very, very long time. And I brought it up to him because in December he and I were recording together very frequently. You know, like we were in call a lot together, and I was like, yeah, we should do one. You, me, and Six. And so then by the time we finally got around to actually making a group chat and stuff for it, like it was like early January or something like that. But anyway, so we started calling and like planning it out and structuring it, and then all of it, like, so I forget what it was. There was like one day where like my dad needed my help. And my dad is old, by the way. He's actually 80 years old. My dad needed some help from me with some stuff over at his place. And again, he's like 80 years old, so I wasn't going to say no or anything like that. And I was like, yeah, sorry guys, I can't record today, but I'll be free literally every other day of the week. And then like out of nowhere, I just heard that like Seth was like, yeah, so like Swag's like unreliable and stuff. And I was like, wait, what? What's going on? Like I only canceled once. And then Six told me, and he told me that like Seth asked him to do it like 2-man it, maybe because, you know, I might not be super reliable or something. So I was like, okay, that's kind of, so like I tried to hit him up. I also want to make it very clear, I do not want you guys to blame Six at all. He was really trying his best, and again, I have been trying to make this shit happen forever. But like there were a couple days you know, after the fact, after you know, Six had like hit Seth up like day after day after day after day, where Seth was like, you know, finally after I think it was like 4 days or something, he was like, okay, yeah, no, I'll do it. And then like we get him back, so like he left the group chat and everything. We get him back in the group chat, and then he like, we have a certain day scheduled, and then like Six and I are waiting. It's like 11 or 12 p.m. Like we're just like, oh, okay, I guess like he's not gonna show up. And then at like 12 p.m. he's like, hey, I'm here. And I'm like, what? So I was just like, yeah, it's too late. I don't know if I can record like a 2-hour podcast because I've been up since 6 a.m. So then the next day happens, and he doesn't message us until like 1 a.m. And I'm just like, and then like a day or two after that, he like made this like other Twitter account, and he tweeted. So hypothetically, if I were to start a podcast without Six or Swag, who would you guys want on it? And then I was like, oh, okay. I think that Seth just doesn't want to do it with me because he doesn't like me. And because of that, I was not super surprised to find out all of the stuff that he said about me. Like, I mean, like, it was kind of like a hit to the gut, like, to just find out all this stuff all at once. But, like, it's just like, yeah, I guess the guy's just, like, never really, like, again, I'm not trying to speak for him. That's just how it seemed to me at the time. If he says otherwise in like a response that he makes to this whole situation or whatever, like sure, what, like I might not like I don't know. I guess it depends how I'm gonna respond. But like I'm not gonna try to say like set in stone. But like based on what I've seen, I just get the sense that he doesn't like me and like never has, and I've heard from multiple other people that he doesn't. So yeah, again, I want to stress, like, the point of this is not to like drag Seth or burn him to the ground or anything like that. I'm really just trying to like lay out everything so that, like, make it as transparent, lay out everything relevant, I should say, make all of the relevant, important details as transparent as possible so everybody knows. Like, this is not something that happened as a result of the podcast. The podcast is also not being canceled as a result of this, and this is also not a spur of the moment thing like me cutting Seth off or whatever. I mean, I reached out to him. I tried to make sure that everything was like I tried to ask him, like, hey, the main thing that I want to say, again, I'm trying to be careful here because I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to instigate, I'm not trying to be inflammatory, but the main thing that bothered me was when he tweeted the, like, he was like, yeah, Clyde, this is like really weird, like, why don't we like hash this out like adults? And like, I mean, I immediately DM'd him on Discord with the link to the tweet. I was just like, are you not even gonna attempt to like reach out to me? Like, ah, man, I was so frustrated. But anyway,